Wait, before you drop $200 on either of these drones, there's something DJI absolutely doesn't want you knowing. This battery costs $59. This one, $129. Same size, same company, double the price, and that changes everything about which drone you should actually buy. Over the past 3 weeks, both the DJI Neo and the brand new Neo 2 have been tested through extreme conditions. One crashed into a tree, on purpose. Cyclists, hikers, and even a golden retriever were tracked. 14 batteries were drained, 180 gigabytes of storage filled, and $700 spent to answer one question: which tiny drone actually deserves your hard-earned cash? Because here's the reality. The Neo 2 isn't simply a better Neo, and the Neo isn't merely a cheaper Neo 2. They're fundamentally different tools designed for completely different users. Picking the wrong one means wasted money and missed unrepeatable moments. The next 12 minutes cover everything: real flight tests, side-by-side footage comparisons, and an unbelievable crash test. At the 10-minute mark, there's a 30-second decision framework that reveals exactly which drone matches specific needs. But first, the crash that completely changed this entire evaluation. Three days into testing, the Neo flew through a forest trail during a beautiful afternoon with perfect lighting. While tracking a bike ride and capturing incredible follow shots, disaster struck. Crash. $47 in propeller damage. The Neo smacked straight into a low-hanging branch that went unnoticed because focus stayed on framing the shot, not obstacle avoidance. The Neo survived thanks to prop guards, but the footage? Destroyed. Confidence? Shattered. This revealed something crucial about these drones. The next day, the exact same trail was flown with the Neo 2. Same speed, same line, same tree branch. It simply stopped, sensed the obstacle, rerouted itself. The shot continued uninterrupted. In that 10-second moment, DJI's real value proposition became crystal clear. This isn't about better specs on paper. It's the difference between might work if you're careful and works even when mistakes happen. That obstacle sensing comes with a price tag significantly larger than the $50 sticker difference. The real numbers get broken down in 6 minutes, and understanding this matters before making any purchase decision. First, the specifications that genuinely impact your results. Instead of drowning in meaningless numbers, only the differences that actually affect footage and budget matter here. The Neo weighs 135 grams, while the Neo 2 sits at 151 grams. That's 16 grams difference, literally 3/4. Both fit in jacket pockets, both stay under the 250-gram FAA registration threshold, both feel impossibly light during palm launches. The weight difference is imperceptible. What's noticeable is what those extra 16 grams provide: sensors, processors, and obstacle avoidance hardware that prevents expensive crashes. Storage capacity creates real-world limitations. Imagine a day hike where shooting starts at 9 a.m. By 3 p.m., the Neo's 22 gigabytes of internal storage with no SD card slot is completely full. At that point, clips must be deleted or Wi-Fi transfer to a phone is required before continuing. The Neo 2's 49 gigabytes means double the capacity. During testing, the Neo filled by lunch, while the Neo 2 lasted until dinner when shooting 4K. Neither offers SD card expansion, which some find liberating since there are no cards to forget or lose, while others find it restrictive. Battery life shows DJI claiming 18 minutes for the Neo and 19 for the Neo 2. After 10 full battery tests on each drone, actual results showed the Neo delivered 14 to 16 minutes of mixed flying, while the Neo 2 provided 13 to 15 minutes. The Neo 2's shorter time comes from sensors and more powerful motors consuming additional power. The difference is 1 to 2 minutes, essentially negligible. The critical takeaway: 3 batteries minimum are needed for full-day shooting on either model. That 3 batteries number becomes extremely important when calculating true ownership costs later. Gimbal technology differs significantly. The Neo uses single-axis stabilization, handling only up and down movement. The Neo 2 employs dual-axis stabilization, managing up, down, and side-to-side motion. During fast panning shots, the Neo produces noticeable jello effects that single-axis gimbals cannot eliminate. The Neo 2 smooths these completely. For quick movements and action sequences, that second stabilization axis transforms footage quality. The camera capabilities take these differences even further. Camera performance is where the Neo 2 creates an almost unfair advantage. Both capture 4K resolution with sharp, detailed results. The divergence happens with frame rates. The Neo maxes at 4K 30 frames per second. Clean, smooth footage, perfect for standard playback. For Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube vlogs at normal speed, this proves entirely adequate. The Neo 2 delivers 4K 60 frames per second plus 4K 100 frames per second for slow motion work. This slow motion capability fundamentally transforms creative possibilities. Complex action sequences like a dog catching a frisbee become cinematic moments. DJI Neo simply cannot achieve this effect. Identical bike trail sequences were shot on both drones. Same afternoon, same lighting, same rider. The Neo footage appeared smooth, detailed, and totally usable for social media. The Neo 2 footage showed noticeably sharper quality during fast movement. The 60 frames per second provides more temporal data, resulting in smoother motion and superior slowdown options during editing. Here's a controversial perspective. For content exclusively posted to Instagram Reels or TikTok, platforms that heavily compress video, the frame rate difference becomes nearly invisible on phone screens. The comment section will likely debate this viewpoint, which is encouraged. Understanding whether frame rate improvements matter for purely social content requires community input. Low-light performance shows neither drone excelling. Both use tiny sensors. However, evening golden hour testing revealed the Neo 2's processing handles noise marginally better. Shadow grain visible on Neo footage appears cleaner on the Neo 2. The improvement isn't dramatic, but serious content creators will notice and appreciate the difference. Color science remains identical across both models. DJI's standard processing delivers the familiar warm, slightly punchy aesthetic the brand is known for. Footage grades easily and looks excellent straight from the camera. Camera verdict: the Neo satisfies casual creators perfectly. The Neo 2 becomes mandatory for those requiring creative control and slow-motion capabilities. However, superior camera specs become irrelevant when crashes destroy footage. The feature that justifies the upgrade price deserves examination. The Neo 2's omnidirectional obstacle sensing isn't merely a nice-to-have feature. For new pilots, it represents the difference between enjoyable flying and a $200 expensive lesson. The Neo contains zero obstacle sensing technology. The pilot serves as the only collision avoidance system. The Neo 2 integrates front-facing LiDAR sensors and visual obstacle avoidance, detecting and avoiding objects in real time during flight. DJI's specifications claim functionality in all lighting conditions up to 5-meter distances. 12 different testing scenarios were conducted. The most dramatic involved an obstacle course featuring trees, fence posts, and hanging branches. Both drones flew through at identical speeds using ActiveTrack. The Neo required constant manual intervention with 4 controller interventions to prevent crashes. Heart rate measurements showed 98 beats per minute from elevated stress. The Neo 2 handled the course autonomously, smoothly rerouting, maintaining tracking, and adjusting altitude automatically. Heart rate remained at 72 beats per minute due to sensor confidence. Both drones provide ActiveTrack and various follow modes. What DJI doesn't prominently advertise, Neo 2 tracking proves fundamentally more reliable because obstacle detection operates simultaneously with subject tracking. The Neo forces a choice between capturing shots and avoiding crashes. The Neo 2 delivers both simultaneously. Complete transparency. The system isn't flawless. Thin branches can confuse sensors. Fast, erratic movements can overwhelm processing. During testing, a wire fence was clipped because thin gauge metal confused the LiDAR. Failures remain exceptional rather than typical. Across 90% of real-world flying scenarios over 3 weeks, obstacle sensing prevented at least 6 confirmed near collisions, likely more that went unnoticed. For experienced drone pilots comfortable with manual flying, obstacle sensing adds convenience. For beginners or those flying in tight spaces, it becomes essential insurance. However, this insurance includes a substantial hidden cost that DJI obscured in the fine print. This critical cost analysis comes next. The conversation DJI wants to avoid concerns true ownership costs of these affordable drones. Current pricing shows the Neo at $159, reduced from $199. The Neo 2 sits at $259, down from $299 retail during pre-order. Surface-level analysis suggests a $100 difference appears reasonable. Better specifications warrant higher prices. However, single-battery drone operation proves impractical. Neo batteries cost $59 each. Neo 2 batteries cost $129 each. Mathematical reality for a functional setup, drone plus 2 additional batteries, reveals dramatic differences. Neo total, $159 drone plus $59 second battery plus $59 third battery equals $277. Neo 2 total, $277, $259 drone plus $129 second battery plus $129 third battery equals $517. The actual price gap reaches $240, not $100. Charging hubs haven't been factored yet. DJI's strategic pricing becomes evident through Fly More bundles. The Neo Fly More costs $289, including extra batteries, bag, and charging hub. Neo 2 Fly. More pricing remains unannounced, but likely exceeds $450. Individual component pricing reaches levels that psychologically push consumers toward bundle purchases. This represents intentional product strategy design. Accessory costs accumulate quickly. Propeller guards, $15 for Neo, $25 for Neo 2. RC-N3 controller, compatible with both, $99. Carrying cases, $30 for either model. Complete setup calculations reveal Neo fully equipped reaches $420. Neo 2 fully equipped hits $680. The real-world price differential expands to $260 for equivalent capability levels. Does obstacle sensing, 4K 60 frames per second, and superior stabilization justify $260 additional investment? The answer depends entirely on content creation type and flight frequency. Flight performance under real-world pressure provides the final evaluation piece. Specs on paper are one thing. Real-world performance when you're chasing a subject, fighting wind, and praying your battery holds out? That's what actually matters. The Neo tops out around 6 to 8 meters per second in sport mode. That's roughly 18 miles per hour. Fast enough for walking and jogging shots, but cyclists can outrun it. The Neo 2 hits similar top speeds but holds them more consistently, especially when obstacle sensing is active. In my testing, it kept up with a casual cyclist better than the Neo did. But neither drone is built for high-speed pursuit. If you're filming motorcycles, cars, or competitive cycling, you need a different class of drone entirely. Both drones claim level 4 wind resistance, roughly 20 miles per hour winds. I tested them on a breezy day with sustained winds around 15 to 18 miles per hour. The Neo struggled with lots of drift, unstable hover, and the battery drained fast. I got maybe 10 minutes of flight time before the low battery warning screamed at me. The Neo 2 handled it better, slightly. That extra weight and more powerful motors gave it marginally better stability. Real talk? Neither drone should be flown in strong wind. They're designed for calm conditions and protected areas. Both employ DJI's ActiveTrack technology with automatic subject locking and following. The Neo tracks effectively in open spaces with strong contrast. Subject lock was lost twice when moving through shadowy areas with poor lighting. The Neo 2 maintained consistent lock through challenging lighting and cluttered backgrounds because sensors provide depth data-enhancing AI tracking algorithms. Available modes include Follow, Hover, Orbit, Spotlight, and Directrix for complex path following. The Neo 2 adds Cycling Follow, a specialized mode optimized for bike tracking using predictive path algorithms. Practical testing showed Cycling Follow anticipating turns and maintaining consistent framing superior to standard follow mode. Noise levels rarely receive discussion. The Neo operates noticeably quieter. When recording audio simultaneously with camera operation, Neo propeller noise proves less intrusive. Neo 2's larger motors generate a more pronounced high-pitched whine. While not a deal-breaker, this matters for audio capture priorities. Flight feel remains subjective. The Neo feels more nimble and responsive, lighter, snappier, more playful in handling. The Neo 2 feels more planted and deliberate. Obstacle sensing introduces slight movement lag as sensor data gets processed. Beginners find Neo 2's cautious behavior reassuring. Experienced pilots prefer the Neo's immediate responsiveness for enjoyment. The Neo 2 represents the more capable, more reliable tool. The Neo offers a scrappier, more affordable option demanding greater pilot skill. This leads to the critical decision: which drone suits specific buyer needs? Decision time arrives. Rather than declaring one drone universally better, meaningless without context, a decision framework based on 3 factors provides clarity: budget, skill level, and content goals. Question 1. Is this the first drone purchase ever? If affirmative, strongly consider DJI Neo 2. Obstacle sensing prevents expensive learning mistakes. The extra $100 to $260 investment costs less than replacing a crashed Neo. If negative and prior drone experience exists, proceed to Question 2. Question 2. What's the realistic all-in budget? Under $300 makes the Neo the only viable option. The Fly More combo at $289 provides complete capability. Between $300 and $500 represents the sweet spot. Either the Neo 2 base or fully equipped Neo becomes affordable. The choice depends on Question 3. Over $500 allows purchasing the Neo 2 Fly More combo when launched. The superior tool becomes accessible. Question 3. What content gets created? Social media exclusively like Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube Shorts makes the Neo genuinely sufficient. That 4K 30 frames per second footage looks excellent on phone screens. YouTube vlogs, travel content, or creative projects make Neo 2's 60 frames per second and slow motion capabilities worthwhile. Professional work or client content requires neither. Mini 4 Pro or Air 3 become necessary as these remain hobbyist tools. Purchase the DJI Neo when it serves as a secondary or backup drone. Ultralight travel situations like backpacking or motorcycle trips are planned. Strict budgets under $300 exist. Content creation focuses solely on social media platforms. Experienced pilot skills allow comfortable manual flying, or the lightest possible drone for casual shots is desired. The Neo represents the best ultra-portable vlogging drone at this price point without question. It doesn't attempt professional capabilities. Instead, it succeeds at being fun, affordable, and pocketable. Purchase the DJI Neo 2 when this represents a first drone purchase. Regular flying occurs near obstacles like forests, urban areas, or indoors. Slow-motion creative options are desired. Longer shooting sessions where 49 GB storage matters happen frequently. Reliability gets valued over cost savings, or content extends beyond basic social media posts. The Neo 2 targets users wanting fewer limitations. The higher cost and absurd battery pricing create obstacles. However, for those able to afford it, the capabilities justify the investment. A controversial perspective. For 70% of viewers, the Neo represents the smarter purchase. Most drone footage ultimately appears on Instagram, cropped to 4:5 aspect ratio, heavily compressed, and viewed on 6-inch phone screens. The Neo handles this beautifully at a price point that remains painless. The Neo 2 serves the 30% who definitively need extra capabilities, either beginners requiring obstacle sensing or experienced creators actually utilizing 4K 60 frames per second and slow motion features. The personal choice? Both drones serve different purposes. The Neo remains in everyday bags as the grab-and-go vlogging drone. Its lightweight, low-cost, and expendable nature eliminate damage concerns. The Neo 2 accompanies planned shoots requiring reliable tracking and superior footage quality, if only one could be chosen. And the purchase came from personal funds as a first-time buyer? Neo 2 wins. Having capability without needing it beats needing capability without having it. That obstacle sensing prevented 6 collisions across 3 weeks. Action steps require completion now. Check actual budgets including 3 batteries and accessories. Honestly, assess skill levels. First drone or experienced operator, define content types, social media or creative projects. Answering these 3 questions honestly makes the correct drone selection obvious. Both drones represent incredible technology. 5 years ago, drones this small and capable didn't exist. 10 years ago, $500 drone setups shooting 4K seemed like science fiction. Current abundance of choice creates privilege. Overthinking becomes counterproductive. Select the drone fitting budget and needs, then start creating. The best drone is the one actually flown. Viewer input matters. Which model gets purchased? Drop NEO or NEO2 in comments along with planned shooting applications. Every comment receives attention with personalized advice for undecided buyers. Helpful content deserves subscription support. 7 additional drone comparisons arrive this quarter, including Mini 5 Pro versus Air 3S. That comparison promises excitement. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.